Hey guys, it's Alchemo here, and today I will teach you how to use Kate Bishop while getting a Necropolis Titania solo. So there's obviously me experimenting with my Adam Warlock. Oh, actually that was my 7-star team that I was doing using for the 7 for 7 challenge. So we're going to take a look at our synergies before we hop in, which really helps out. Now, Kate needs to charge her heavy attack for half as long for increased knockback. Now, one of the main things you want to do with Kate Bishop is knock the enemy into the corner using a heavy attack. Now, this halves that knockback time. So if you're okay sacrificing a slot on your team, it's very, very helpful, to heavy counter specials. This is 5% combat power rate and 500 block proficiency. This can actually come in really handy against when people, the enemies in Necropolis, start throwing specials while you're rooted. But if you're going to use this synergy, use America Chavez, because over here she has a very important synergy. The max stack limit of all trick arrows is increased by 1. So if you go into any fight and you inflict say a cold snap arrow, you can only do that twice, whereas with America Chavez on the team you can do it 3 times. Very, very helpful. This one's interesting. When an opponent fails to trigger an evade due to cold snap or reduced ability accuracy, inflict a frostbite passive for 10 seconds, dealing 50% of attack as energy damage when it expires. Now, you're not going to see this too much. You're only going to see it if you're fighting an enemy that can evade. However, I've found personally that this does not stop the Labyrinth of Legends 1% chance to evade. So, other than that, yeah, if you have a cold snap on them, it'll most likely stop their evades. I've seen Mr. Fantastic Necropolis solos, where their evade gets prevented. Here we have activating a perfect relief bonus during a special attack 2 grants 2 additional dialed-in passes. Now, the special 2 is not really the one you'd be using very often, but that can be very useful to help build up Kate. But really, all we're going to do is just Kamala Khan and America Chavez. So let's get into the map and head over to Titania. Okay, so here's my Kate Bishop. Now, ideally for this fight, if you are going to attempt it, rank 5 Ascended would be very good. Rank 4 Ascended would work just as well, or even just rank 5 Unascended. Maybe use a couple of boosts to help your chances. But you want her to be as high of a PI rated champion as possible before boosts, because that will increase her challenger rating, which increases the amount of time you have before this node expires. Where is it? Defender starts with a number of vengeance charges. Now, when they get to half vengeance charges, they gain heaps of attack rating and they root you during special attacks, which is where you stay, like you get caught and you have to stay in the same spot, like you can't dash back. You can dex, but you can't dash back. And then when they reach 0, stun immune to all forms of power manipulation, passively unblockable, and they gain 15% of a bar of power every second while the attacker is not within striking distance. Now, if you're using an aggressive champion, like Adam Warlock, for example, maybe not against Titania, it's a terrible matchup, but that final part's actually not too bad. But we're going to go up against Titania, and I'm going to explain what her trick arrows do. So her cryo arrow will inflict a cold snap, which is basically, I think it's energy damage. Cold snaps, basically, if anyone is immune to cold, like Iceman, they're not going to be able to get inflicted by with a cold snap. Tranquilize is a debuff that reduces the ability accuracy of the opponent's debuffs placed on you. So in this fight, specifically with Titania, every time you dash back twice, you will get inflicted with, I think it's 5 weakness debuffs. But if you have a Tranquilize on, it should be about 1 or 2. And if you have 2 Tranquilizers on them, you'll get 0. Caltrops, so if they throw a heavy, dash backwards or dash forwards, they get inflicted with, I think it's a bleed damage. It's very helpful, especially if you're trying to bait heavies. Here, not so much. Although when Titania does aggro and she activates her Haymaker and you're just constantly dashing back, and she's constantly dashing forward, she's going to be taking lots of damage from that. And Fragility. Fragility basically increases the amount of damage that she takes. I don't know about the base damage, but I do know that it increases the amount of damage that she takes from Caltrops and Cold Snap. Now, for this fight, those debuffs that get inflicted on us are incredibly annoying as well. Just annoying. So, we're going to activate the Tranquilize to begin with for this fight. I will try and explain everything I'm doing with Kate as I'm doing it. So when you perform a well-timed block, you do a thing called a riposte, if anyone was wondering how to pronounce it. And basically, it is an evade that will stun the enemy for a pretty long amount of time, actually. And you're going to use it to knock the opponent down into the corner with a heavy attack. Now, what are you doing with this heavy attack exactly? Pretty much just knocking them down into the corner. It'll defresh... oh, that was bad timing. It'll refresh all of the debuffs that you've placed on the opponent, as well as apply a Crush Charge, which is basically an unblockable debuff. The opponent cannot block any incoming attacks. This is really annoying. Okay, we're going to have to apply another Tranquilize. Now, something on the special one you can do is slow down time, and as soon as you see the blue star at the end of the arrow, that's when you let go. When you get a perfect release, it actually gives the trick arrows that you're using bonus effects. As well as, let me just quickly get her into the corner here. As well as give you a dialed-in passive. Now, what dialed-in passives are for, they will increase the duration of all of your debuffs on the opponent. I don't know by how much. I think it is a second, possibly. So, you know, obviously get perfect releases for the extra effects, as well as the extra time on your debuffs to make it less stressful to play Kate Bishop. Oh, wow. Okay, there we go. Now, here's where the damage comes in, is the Cold Snap damage. The Cold Snap damage is pretty much where all of your damage output is coming from with Kate. Now, when you punish a special attack, it does pause the debuff for quite some time, so you want to make sure you're taking advantage of that. Knock him into the corner. Throw a special one. And again, because she has a Crush Charge on her, she can't block incoming attacks. Crap. And now we just survive. This is where you play it as slow as you possibly can. Just slow combos, relic only when you need to. Make sure you take advantage of the full stun duration. Melee after the super attacks, special attacks, sorry, because she's doing, she's gonna be rooting you, so make sure you're doing a heavy after each special attack. Slow combo. And when I say to take full advantage of the stun, I'll see if I can show you what I mean. So I'm just going to wait for it. There we go. And there you go. That is a solo with Kate Bishop, and I think I explained every single one of her abilities that like actually like really matter. Yeah. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.